start this. Check. Yeah, we are back. This is the King Team Network. This is the Royal Review. Shout out to my boy Scotty Too Hotty in the background. Shout out to Up Next Tay, because he ain't got his goddamn photography shit on Instagram yet, so I don't remember it. But we got a special guest again, a lovely lady, and she's been here before, so she is already a part of the family. But
I was gonna say, your hands can come in the way of that shot. You wanna?
I don't care about that.
That's all I want to know.
Because I'm not using that. I'm just using it for intercut. So when you zoom in, let me not in. You know what I'm saying? All right, we back to it. Anyway, I have an introduction to do, and it is the most beautiful, talented, legendary actually. Miss Laura is in the building. Can we get a round of applause? How are you?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm good. It's good to see you again. You be
Likewise.
out on the town.
Yeah, I try to get around. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I always have fun when I come here.
Man, you're always welcome. We definitely gonna need you, and we needed you this week for sure because something dropped, and the internet went crazy, and black people was fighting with black people, and Obama almost came back. It was just a lot going on this week.
Right.
But honestly, Nevermind. The Drake, the 7th studio album from Drake. This is what we're gonna review today. I think she's gonna have a great perspective on what she thought of it, because I personally like the album. But honestly, Nevermind. What about you?
I love Drake.
There we go. Let's get that out the way, because regardless of what he puts out, he's already in my
I
favor.
love Drake for like a lot of different reasons, which may be contradictory to my feelings about this particular album. But I like Drake because Drake, I don't feel like he's ever been afraid of being who he is as an artist. And he likes to try new things, which was evident on this album. He's one of my favorite artists. I think he's multi-talented, and so you know, I still love Drake.
But
Right, unfortunately, as a whole, as a collective, was I feeling the album? No, not really. There were a few songs though that I really liked on the album, but like I think I may be in the same boat as some of the critics on like, you know, I question like, well, what is it exactly? What is it? Because I feel like Drake has always created that medium for blending hip hop, pop, and R&B. You know, and so I mean, obviously from our culture, you know, the black culture, hip hop, rap, R&B is definitely relatable. But you know, pop is kind of where they say, you know, we sell ourselves. Or these artists sell their soul.
you think so?
You know, well, because they're trying to, it's mass appeal. It's mass appeal, so.
It's not a bad thing.
No, definitely not. I think that's how he's been able to grow and why he's so adored as an artist. Like I said, I love Drake, but my feeling was that he's searching for a new sound. I think people seem to always expect like, okay, well, we know he gonna sing, we know he gonna have something for the ladies, but we know he got flow too.
Right.
And so, do you still get aspects of that or components of that in this album? Absolutely. But I think it was definitely more geared towards the club. And when I think about it, it was the club sound from the early 90s.
The early 90s.
Yeah, from the early 90s. You know, like I was saying, like I can remember seeing movies. Like somebody out there knows what I'm talking about.
If you know, comment, please.
See a movie from watch a movie from the early 90s.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, like when they do that cutaway, like yeah, we gonna juice you, we gonna get you together, we going shopping in Beverly Hills, or like we about to hit the town, and they showing these scenes of Beverly Hills or downtown or Manhattan, New York,
Like
and that's that stuff like that bold, like that's the feel like that I get from it. But what I disliked was that, in my opinion, like the first 8 or 9 songs sound just like that.
So you didn't like it was too many of the same?
Yeah, it was the same sound. It was the same sound. That's what I didn't like. And like I said, in previous albums, did he master the art of blending pop, R&B, and hip hop? Absolutely. But I don't feel like I feel like each song had its own identity. Whereas I feel like on this album, each song has its own title, it has its own content, but they sound the same. And so there were a few songs where I feel like he incorporated more of his old self, which is why I liked it.
We gonna hold that. We gonna hold that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cameraman, you ready? You ready? Go ahead, get behind there real quick. Go ahead, loosen the thing up real quick, because I'm about to jump up. Go ahead, loosen the thing up real quick. Look. You dealing with me rough. You dealing with me rough. Look, anyway, I was just, I like the album, right? And there's a few reasons why. And I love what you said about how he blended in his career, he's blended albums to cater to different people throughout the album. So now you have hits on hits on hits in one album. But I think this is his first concept album where it was the same concept, and that's why it does sound the same. But personally, for me, that's how I love albums, because
I'm feeling it.
Yeah. Only because I know you were in that mode when you were making this album. You didn't do this, you weren't in this mode for a couple months, then you took off to Dubai, and now you're in a whole different field, then you come back and try to finish the album, and now you do have a different sound to you. No, you was locked in. He was really just locked in on this sound for however long this album took, and he was like, this is what I'm doing. And that's bold, because it could honestly hit or miss. You know, and Twitter said it missed, but personally, and the numbers wise, it was the #1 dance song downloaded of all time. So he already broke another record that he never would have broken if he didn't try this. And I love what you said. He likes to try things. So I thought personally, for a long time in his career, he was too afraid to try new things. He would put it out on Instagram, he would put out a snippet, but as far as his studio projects, they were kind of just for hip hop fans, that also he was just so talented, they would take off anyway. So they would be in any and every club, but he was very afraid to branch out and just do a completely different album. Cause I think he wanted to do what is that song, War? And he be doing like his overseas stuff. And I think he really wants to do an album just like that, but with a little piece to his crowd. You know what I'm saying? And if you listen to Drake talk, that's why he doesn't do a lot of interviews. Cause if you listen to Drake talk, he'll tell you how nervous he is about everything he does. Like even on his Billboard speech when he won Artist Decade of the Year of the decade, he was like, I just kept doing it. I didn't know if it was gonna work, but I just kept doing it, and it made sense at the end of the day. So that's kind of for me what it was. Now, did I like when I first listened to it, when I first downloaded it, and I was expecting something else from Drake? I said honestly, Nevermind, I don't want it. I don't want it. But then when I went back the second night, I danced in my room at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, if he can invoke this emotion in me, then he did something right. Even if it doesn't appease to the crowd that he usually appeases to, he did something right for somebody.
Right, I got you.
And that's okay.
Yeah. You know, like what I was thinking too, like, I do, I put him on this level. Like, you'll hear like people who would speak about making records with like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And not understanding like his vision. Like, no, like I'm telling you, like it's gonna pop off. So I'm just like, am I being biased? Perhaps. Because I'm used to a certain sound.
That's what I think everybody was expecting. A certain sound. So when they got a different, it was
maybe I didn't really give it a chance. Because yes, like you said, like I like that. I like he maybe during this time in his life, he was, you know, in Europe a lot, and he was going to a lot of different clubs, and he was exploring different ways of life and different cultures and different music. And you know, this is the product, you know, of that time in his life. So that's why you have this sound that, you know, sounds like so similar. That's a theory, and I can get with that. But also, I feel like people on this level too, like when you speak about his apprehension to put out certain sounds or certain music, because he's like a made man. Like, you can't go wrong. Like, well, people are going to listen anyway.
Yes.
Like, people are going to listen anyway. But I feel like once you reach a certain level, like in your career, it's like, you know, I got to put out certain stuff because this is a guaranteed formula.
Yes. Yes.
Because I feel like, and we talked about this before, where a lot of his songs sounds like the first single, the sneak preview that Beyonce put out a couple days ago, or whatever. And I'm like, damn, like it sounds very similar. So you talking about, you know, someone who has an output like Beyonce, Drake, very similar, and they have the same sound. Right. Like, so is this like, you know, this is the new wave? Like, is this the new wave? Is this the direction that, you know, we're going in and
because people are gonna copy.
And he's gonna be ahead of it.
Exactly.
Right, so I feel like maybe, like, you know, maybe I don't understand it yet, you know, but like, I'm like, like, you know, it was, to me, like, yeah, I guess that's the difference where maybe I'm looking for different emotions, like, you know, you got knife, last album, you got Knife Talk, like, but people are like, yeah, and then you got like love songs, right? Like, because you experience a lot of emotions, like, you know, whatever. So it's like, yeah, he really knows how to tap into that. This time, yes, it was a lot different from the previous albums, because a lot of the songs, whether it's a good or bad thing, we'll find out as time progresses. If that was, you know, the right move to make or not. But just, you know, fresh ears, you know, and it's not even a new sound to me. It's actually an old sound. I'm telling you.
Comment a movie.
Like,
comment a movie. If you got a movie that has this sound in it from the 90s, comment it right now.
Like,
right now.
People know what I'm talking about.
I believe you too. Because if I go back to a 90s movie, I'm sure I've heard
like,
it.
or Basic Instinct, the club music, all sound like stuff on.
He just sampled it from those.
So I have another
back
theory.
to that era, like, and look at where we are in fashion. It all matches.
Yeah.
It
You're
matches.
Right.
Like,
You're right.
So, but anyway,
no, I agree.
It was like, I would have like, well, if you're going back to that era, you know, tap into some of the R&B, you know, sound that were, you know, popping at the time. Just like, because that Bogan and the club sound was, you know, what I heard on the album. It's a dance album, in my opinion. You got up and dance. You can get up and dance to a lot of his songs.
Dealing with me rough. No, but I have a theory, right? So I have a theory, because you said something about fresh ears and what we expect from Drake. So I have a theory, and I advise anybody, and get up close on me right now, I advise anybody to do this, right? Listen to the whole album backwards. So start with Jimmy Crooks. Start there and work your way back down and see how you sound. See how it sounds to your ears. Because actually, if you listen to the album all the way through, he's going right back to rap. Because that's why he ended it with 21 Savage. So he's going right back to rap. His next album, I can almost guarantee is gonna be straight rap. But what he did was he introduced a new sound. He told you I can do it for multiple songs, but then towards the end, he's like, nah, but I still got it. I still got this, and then I'm gonna drop a hit. And he knew the song with 21 was gonna be the biggest song. You know what I'm saying? The most listened to song, and that's okay. That's why he put it at the end, because you kind of have to at least see the rest of the songs to push the last song. You know what I'm saying? Or you might just listen to it to get to that song. But I advise anybody, listen to it backwards and comment what you heard. Because you'll hear your ears kind of get more used to the house music that you're not used to because you're used to the harder beats. Think about it. Anyway, so we're gonna go into our top 3. Hey, Scott thinking about it. Come on now.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
It kind of makes sense. So, top 3 songs. All right, yeah, look at your phone. So, my top 3 are easy, right? My top 3 are Jimmy Crooks, of course, Sticky, and Falling Back. Those are my top 3. I liked how Falling Back felt for me because it talked about kind of what I went through this year. Kind of having to fall back on people, have to fall back on love, had to fall back on everything to make this happen. And falling back sometimes hurts the most. So I felt like, and don't let me forget, because you said something great before we started, his delivery's kind of been lazy. That's what we thought. I want to get back to that, but I think the way he did Falling Back was so beautiful to me because even the music video was him marrying 1,000 women. But is he really happy with any of them? He's just in the middle of it. He probably really wants somebody else. But
we can talk forever about that.
We can. What you mean? What you mean?
Go on, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. But no, I think Drake personally, I think he has a hard time with commitment, and when it comes to women, but he also loves a lot of women, like in real life. Like he takes care of them, he loves them, he wants to make sure they're good, and they probably don't do him the best because he's still loving other women. You know what I'm saying? And that's the turmoil of being one of the greatest of all time. Because it's kind of weird because we talked about Michael Jackson before. Michael Jackson could have had any woman he ever wanted. You see who he picked. You know what I'm saying? The women he picked just were average, regular women, but that's what he needed. I think Drake wants the baddest of the baddest, and he can't handle what that means. So he can't never commit to that. And I think that just tears him up inside. That's just me, and I think that's where his album
very
was.
interesting perspective, actually.
So what were your top 3?
You picked 2 of my top 3.
Really?
Yeah, of course, Jimmy Cook.
Of course. I mean, hey, 21 did his thing.
Yeah, Sticky. Cause those, man, hold on, let me go back to Jimmy Cook.
Okay.
Because like, it's that feeling you get, like you get excited.
Yeah.
Because like, you don't never know when the flow gonna change, another beat gonna drop in, like, and it's, you know, he makes magic.
And 21 and him really make good songs.
Yeah.
They really seem like they actually like each other.
Yeah.
I rock with that.
So yes, definitely Jimmy Cooks. I like Sticky and I like Calling My Name.
Calling My Name. Now how does that go? Play that for a second.
Okay. Maybe I'll pick that up.
Yep. Okay. Because we're not getting sued here.
That's the next thing I was gonna say. You
Hey,
got 10
7 seconds.
You got 10
10. Well, we really got 7.
Right.
But no, I think that is a good song. It was a very good title. But why was that one of your favorites?
Honestly, I like how it started. I like the sound. It kind of reminded me of Prince. The way that it started.
It has some Prince.
The way it started out. So I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And really, what I say, Sticky and Jimmy Cooks, like that's just him.
Yeah.
That's familiar. That's the sound that, like I said, you get excited about, like, because you know, he laid the track.
Right.
So yeah, those would be my top 3. But I do need to listen to it again.
Again?
I do need to listen to it again.
I think once you listen to it a couple times, you get past the fact that it's not regular Drake, and then you get to the actual. Is this good music? And then you're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to move. You want to move. And what's funny is, and I love this about Drake. He can drop a whole rap album and be #1 immediately. But then he drops this, right? And if you go on Apple Music, you'll see the whole browser thing and everything. You won't see his face on hip hop. You're gonna see Little Baby because he dropped that new song with 42 Doug, and that shit's hot. No, not taking away from that. But you go down just a little bit more, right? And they have this section called hits. and you just see his face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Drake is hits.
Exactly. So that's to me a different mindset, and I think Lil Baby's gonna be there too. Just no shade to Lil Baby because he is, I think, the next. If he can elevate his sound and kind of take that next step, I think he is the next elite level for the next 10 to 15 years. I do. But Drake makes hits. Period, point blank. I don't care how you flip it, turn it, toss it. If he puts it out, that thing is a banger. And if you don't like it, it's probably because you were looking for something different, not because you didn't like the song. So I've been saying that since the drop. I'm like, if you go down just a little bit more.
You know what it made me think about too?
What?
Where they talk about, okay, like we talk about R&B and soul and hip hop. Like there's a feeling to it.
Yeah.
You want to feel something. So with dance, you just want to dance. You just want to dance. So I think, now that I think about it, that's probably what that feeling I'm looking for, it's not there.
Right.
Cause you just want to get out, boom, boom, like you want to get out and dance, like, and that's what it sounds like.
Absolutely.
So that, so when we were talking about, you said you wanted to touch on the
laziness. Is he getting lazy with his flow because he's uninspired?
I guess I have to retract my statement because
what was your original statement?
That it's the feeling. It's the feeling in the music. Like even like hip hop, R&B, pop is just fun. It's fun music. It's relatable to the masses. That's why it's popular music. But I didn't feel that R&B. R&B has a feeling to it. Rap has a feeling. It's a feeling involved to it. But if you want to dance, you gonna dance, and I feel like that was the sound. So I said before that like maybe he's getting lazy because I made the comparison to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is Jay-Z and Beyonce is Beyonce. So it's like these are like household names. They're just household names. Like you're just going to
enjoy it.
Yeah, you're just going to. You're gonna buy because it's brand recognition.
Right. Like politicians.
Yeah, it's brand recognition. So, but if you are a fan, if you're really a fan of like good music, good writing and production, like you start to see like, well, like this isn't the same quality of work that I'm used to. It's not the same quality of work that I'm used to. And so,
but is the quality worse though? Or is it just
the production is great. Obviously, you got millions behind it. I'm just saying that he's been at a point in his career, which I said like about the previous albums, a handful of songs, just a handful of songs that I like, where whatever you put out, you're going to break records because it's brand recognition. Like people, know that they can expect,
even if they hate it, they're gonna listen.
You're gonna get a hit. You're gonna get a new sound. You're gonna get something different because you got everybody behind you. So I was wondering, your feeling at first, like, is it that? But then I had to understand too. Like, I got a feeling when I listened to
Scorpion.
No. These three songs.
Okay, well, you got a feeling each of those songs.
Oh, with those.
Gotcha.
I did. But I'm just used to like the whole album. Like like you can feel. You can almost imagine. Like you listen to music. Like you working out, if you running, if you lifting weights. Like you can almost like imagine yourself in the song. Yes, absolutely. You can imagine yourself in a song in a certain situation. And you can have like a movie, like
absolutely
based on
in the song,
you can feel it. Yep. You can feel the energy.
It can bring up energy that you didn't know you had.
Right.
Especially in the gym.
Yeah. Like I said, it's dance, it's club, it's like like that bold like.
So overall, what are you giving this? So we have a 10 crown ranking. Okay. So it's 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Where are you putting this album? And you can base it off all of the albums, or you can just base it off the sounds of right now. You can base it off how you like this one solely, or whatever.
I'm not going to do it based on the previous his previous work.
Cause she'll give him a 1. That's what.
No. I would say, maybe about a 6.
Okay.
Maybe about a 6.
People was giving it like a 2 when it first came out.
No, I don't think it's trash.
Right.
I don't think it's trash. It's just like, Michael Jackson put out 4 solo albums before he put out Off the Wall. Off the Wall is a classic. It doesn't mean that he didn't have good songs on those other albums, but Off the Wall was a classic. Thriller was a classic. Bad was a classic. He had albums that were just classics. I wouldn't give this like, oh, this
You don't think this is going to be a classic?
going down in history as his most popular album. Hell no.
Right. No, it's definitely not going to be his most popular album.
No. What was his?
What do you think? What do you guys think is his most popular album of all?
Hold on.
Everybody says it's
My
Take
favorite.
Care. I don't think it's Take
It's
Care,
either that or.
but I fuck with Take Care. What you think?
Shit, what was
I think it was the one right after Take Care.
what's the call was on that?
Let me see my
start
phone.
with a R.
Nothing was the same.
Redemption was but no, it wasn't. I don't think it was.
Nothing
Redemption?
was the same.
That was your favorite? That's Views.
Views.
That's your favorite? That's one of my favorites too.
Views.
That's one of my favorites too. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Views.
Nothing was the same. I liked it. I liked the back end more than the front end.
But Take Care, I ain't gonna fake Take Care.
Was
That's number 2.
that thing? Ain't it?
Because
He had Kendrick on there
I feel
before
like
we knew it was Kendrick.
Kendrick and the Weeknd.
He was in his bag then. Like he had that passion. Like those are 3 in a row. By the way.
Yeah.
Those came back to back to back.
Well, he was in his pocket. Absolutely. And I think that's important that artists understand. Like when you get in your pocket, don't be afraid to just keep getting in that pocket. Stay in that pocket as long as you can, because you're not gonna be in that space in your head to be that determined for that much longer. It's gonna be especially I'm talking about he was having massive success. So he could have been easily been like after Take Care, like, yeah, we good. We good for life. Now we don't need to do this shit no more.
One thing I will add though, like, and you see this in a lot of celebrities' careers, whether it's in music, whether it's in acting, whether they're athletes. How long can one person do the same thing and still get that same thrill or passion from it anymore?
And he's decades. He's a decade in for sure.
Yeah, longer, I think.
Way longer for sure. But as
like
far as
almost
just being on
20 years.
top of the game,
Damn near. He been.
I was probably around about 15.
close. When did
His first album came out in 2008.
when did So Far Gone come out? So Far Gone came out in 2008.
And he was writing for Dr. Dre before that.
So he come.
And he was on the Grassy.
He's been doing music for a really long time.
Yeah.
Is my point. And so it's like, I feel like as a young man, Drake being a young man, I wouldn't be surprised if, you started seeing him do more acting.
Yes. I think he should have been went back to acting.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he ever had a love for it. I think that's what it was.
Or it's just something else altogether different.
Yeah.
And maybe even coming back to it, but like I said, we just all said like, the 3 albums back to back, like that was his, for me, that was his prime.
Yeah. Okay.
That was his prime.
Okay, so you think he's out of his prime right now? This is just like an athlete though. This is just like an athlete.
I do. That's what I said. When you watch people's careers, like you'll see like, there's highs and lows. And I think, you reach a peak, and then once you reach your peak, you have to come back down. It doesn't mean, that's why I said, like, I'm not gonna say it's a 1 or a 2, because I look at, other things. Like I look at the writing, I look at the production. Is it neat? Some people's music sounds